Welcome back to the once again to the brand new tutorial of Kotlin Essentials, and for the moment I'm just explaining you about the concepts of advanced Kotlin concepts. Okay, so in my previous lecture I just explained about these concepts like pair, collection, mapping, constants, companion object on an object, the singleton object. So if you have missed my previous lectures, if you have not subscribed yet, just go through my previous lecture videos about Kotlin's basic fundamentals and some advanced concepts. And today my topic of discussion will be extension function, which is really interesting topic. It's an advanced topic, and yeah, I will try to explain this concept. And if you have not yet subscribed me, just please subscribe me and support me. And thanks for watching my lecture and videos. Okay, so what is extension function? Actually, extension functions helps to create helper functions. Okay, so what kind of helper function? Okay, let's go and dive into the code and like check out what kind of extension functions. So let me create an extension function right now. I want to create an extension function, most particularly of a string, okay, of a class string. I will create an extension, okay, function, the name. So what will be the extension function name? Like is space, okay, and it's gonna return boolean, okay, and it is gonna return return if okay, let's see what it is gonna return. Return a value, right, like true or false. Okay, for the moment I'm gonna return true. So actually, this is a simple extension function based on a string, because string is a class which is which is a auto which is a class given by the library, like Kotlin libraries. Like a string is a class that represents a character string, right, which is a class provided by Kotlin libraries. So we can also actually create some extension function to the function, like the class that is already provided. So this is of extension function that I have created for a string class. I can also actually create extension for the class that I create. Okay, like for example, class function, I will create a extension function based on Kotlin Advanced. That is a class that I have created. I will create a extend function, and which has input, which is a string, and the output will be, let's say, a boolean. Okay, right, it is returning true or false based on the condition, right? If input length, input dot length is greater than 1, true, else false, right? So you see, you can also actually do in this way. So yeah, that's it. It's a simple extension function, right? So, and I would like to create an extension function if it is a space. So how can I found if it a value has a space? If found okay, is to this okay, it is a type of character which is also nullable. If this dot found, okay, find it, okay, is a space okay. So if found is not equals to null, then it's if found is not equals to null, that means it's there is a space, right? So let's use that this concept. I will write to I will try to create a yeah, let me create a value is a result, and I say the string dot is space. Okay, the problem is okay, let's see, it's a bar result equals to string dot. Okay, I'm not able to get a space here. Okay, so wait one second, let me, we can directly do something like this. Maybe we can, okay, actually we have to do this thing, val result equals to we have to pass the string first, you know. The string is okay, this is a, okay, so this is gonna automatically return the result to us. So let's return the result, and let's see what kind of result we have. Result, okay, we must get the result as true, I think so. Okay, so let's run this program, and let's see if it is really working, the extension function. Cool, as you can see the result is true, that is the, we have a space. So if we remove the space here, we should see that the result has to be value of false, right? Because there is no space. So let's do that, let's run the program again. Yeah, cool, if you see the result is false, that means, yeah, this is overall the implementation of the extension function, right? So let's go and check out, as you can see, extension function, as we saw in the code, right? Extension function has to create a helper function, and extension function are defined outside the class they extend. They are defined outside the class that they extend. So all the private properties are not accessible, right? Private variables are not accessible. Whichever variable that is in the this class string, we cannot access that. Okay, and you can also define extension property too. So let's define extension property. How do we define extension property? Okay, for that extension property we can check and try to find and define extension property. For example, I want to define a property here for uh, Kotlin Advanced. I want to create a property. I want to create a property that says if this is green. I mean, like, this advanced class is not green. Let's see, is valid. Okay, and I would say this property that is gonna return a boolean, right? And actually I have to define a property here also, value string, and actually we have to also define a getter here. Okay, we have to add a getter here. Actually this is like we are defining a property for this extension. It's a kind of a property defined as an extension function, extension property that is defined for this class. Okay, so and let's get the value. And how do we get the value? We get the value by saying if we have to return uh, is valid the value. If value is greater than 0, then it's valid, of course. Because it's a string, it cannot be greater than 0. Okay, so if value is not equals to, okay, we can say not equals to space, then it's valid. Cool. So yeah, this is a kind of defining an extension property. Okay guys, so what else we can do? Extension function can be also can be nullable variable, so or we can provide the default behavior when we function is applied to null. So guys, at some case there can be also case when your extension function is nullable, right? So okay, let's try to see the case. The case is like we have a nullable example here, right? Like example, okay. And in this nullable example, what I have is let's define a advanced, okay, function, okay, which is Kotlin advanced class, which is also nullable. That is actually we have an initial value null, right? And like the case comes when if you want to define like okay, like for example, like Kotlin advanced has some nullable like extension function, right, that we create, for example this one. So how can we use that? Okay, if it is nullable, like for example, if advanced for the moment we have only a value property, okay. uh, but you can surround with the, you can also actually, you know, do like something like this. Okay, we can assign the value to we cannot assign a value here. We can, what we can do with this property, it's a kind of a property, so it's giving us a value. Okay, so but the thing that I wanted to do is I want to access this extension function, which is gonna, I'm gonna input a string and it's gonna return. So I'm not able to access this advanced Kotlin, like extension function, right? So how can I be able to access this extension function? I can simply do by making a null check here, right? So now if you see, I will be able to extension function, we can put the input, this one, and it's pretty much okay, you know, like we can access this extension function. Before, like if it was not nullable, like we could have still able to like, but we still didn't have the like the situation, right? Like we should create a situation, like for example, if this is not null, then you can apply something, right? You can do and solve this situation in this case. And even you can right now remove the nullable property here, right? You can directly check the nullability here and directly try to apply. If this is not null, then you do this conditional check here. right? So I guess you guys got some idea about what I mean to say is like extension function can be called also in a nullable variable. Okay, so if you have some kind of a nullable variable here, the idea is simple. This class has a null is null, right? Nullable. So we need to also be sure whenever we make advanced programming language, we need to make sure that this the function which is calling, like the variable which is calling the extension function, like the object which is calling actually a extension function of this object, right? So it must not, like we have to also make sure to make some certain null check, okay, in this way, in this form, to avoid the exception or crash. Okay, so that was my point of view that I wanted to make you understand. So I guess I explained you about simple concepts about and some tips and tricks about extension function, and I hope you guys understood some basic fundamentals. If you have any questions, you can just write me down and comments below, and I will try to solve them. And thank you for listening, guys.